Remember, all organisms sense and respond to the environment, but the movement of plants is limited. Therefore, the responses of plants is going to be different to the responses of animals. Instead of moving their entire body, plants move individual parts. There are two ways they can do this. They can either respond by changing the direction of growth, or they can change the size of the cells through turgor pressure, or water pressure. The first type, called tropisms, will be the focus of the next few lessons. You will learn about nastic responses next term. Okay, so tropisms are the growth of a plant towards or away from a stimulus. Since its growth, they are relatively slow and long-term. What happens is that the cells on the different sides of the plant elongate or lengthen at different rates. This causes the plant to bend. Since tropisms are directional, we need to use positive or negative to show the direction. Remember, positive means it's growing towards the stimulus, while negative means that it's growing away from the stimulus. We then need to identify the type of stimulus. We use the same prefixes as before, such as chemo, hydro, thigmo, photo, geo. And then finally, we add tropism to the end. To practice naming them, here's an image from yesterday's slides. It's a germinating seed with the first root, the radical, growing downwards. Since it's growing towards gravity, we call it positive geotropism. Or we could call it positive gravitropism, same thing. In contrast, the first shoot, the plumule, is growing away from gravity. So we call it negative geotropism. Now for more practice, let's go for a tour of my garden. Alright, so here we are next to our passion fruit vine. Now passion fruit is a climbing plant and it's got these specialized stems called tendrils. So they're really, really thin. What happens is when the tendrils contact something, they grow around it, they wrap around. So those tendrils are responding to touch. And specifically, they're growing towards the touch. So in this case, this is positive thigmotropism. And the function of that is it helps support the plant. So it doesn't need strong stems to support itself. It wraps around the support that's already there. Now here we are next to a lancewood. And if I come around, you'll be able to see that the lancewood is actually growing at an angle. Now the reason for this is because, like all plants, lancewood needs some light. And next to the garage, it was too dark. So it's growing towards the light, towards the brighter side. So since it's growing towards positive, light, photo, it's growth of a plant, tropism. So this is a case of positive phototropism. Those were the examples of tropisms I found in my garden. You can do the same thing in yours if you have one, or when walking around the block to get some exercise and fresh air. If not, you can always look them up on the internet. you know you're famous? Hello.